Hello everyone, it's me, Traveler Lily, here back with another book review here on YouTube. I decided to try something different and use my computer to record, my videos using Photo Booth, and trying to see if I can upload videos from Photo Booth onto YouTube. So anyway, I decided to come back here with another book review, reviewing Eleanor Park by Rainbow Rowell. I finished this book last month, but I never got a chance to review it or anything because, I don't know, I just never got around to it and stuff. But I decided to review it anyway and come back and share my thoughts with it. I'm going to try to go into the non-spoiler section of this book first before spoiling the book for a lot of people who probably don't want to be spoiled, so I will let you know when the spoiler-y part comes up. So yeah, here's the non-spoiler section of the book. Okay, so Eleanor Park by Rainbow Rowell is about two 16-year-old high school students in 1986 who basically fall in love over the course of one school year. And yeah, that's basically the summary of it. Basically, the non-spoiler section is basically, that's all I had to say. There's not really much I can go and talk about without spoiling the book. So here comes the spoiler part. So for all of you guys who don't want to be spoiled, click off now of the video or mute your video and come back later and stuff or whatever until you've read the book, and we can discuss it in the comments. So basically, like I said before, I couldn't go into much detail about this book without spoiling a lot of the plot line to people who don't want to be spoiled for the book or anything. So, yeah. Like I said, it's about two 16-year-old kids. Eleanor and Park is shown on the cover. Two 16-year-old high school students in the late 1980s to early 1990s, and it takes place over the course of one school year. And so Eleanor is a new student at this school that Park goes to, and at first when Park meets on the bus, she's kind of wearing odd looking clothing, and her hair is obviously orange colored, kind of like a red oranges color. So obviously, there's not too many people with that hair color. So of course you can imagine all the jokes and torment she had to go through just because of the way she's dressed and everything, and all that. And so basically, Eleanor lives with her mom, her stepdad, and her 3 to 4, I think, younger siblings in this one house. And Eleanor's stepdad isn't a really friendly guy at all. He's kind of like a really mean and not very, obviously not so very nice guy. He kind of drinks, quite a bit. He comes home often drunk, and occasionally gets into, obviously, a lot of arguments with the mom, and obviously it's just a really bad situation, obviously, so it's a lot of domestic abuse in that household and stuff, and the mom's afraid of, standing up for herself against the guy, and leaving the guy, for not only for the safety of herself, but for her kids. And you learn that with Eleanor, she had been kicked out for a year, but then was brought back into the household. And her dad is still alive, but sorry about that, I kind of went black there. but her parents divorced, and so her dad has a new family, and of course, her mom has custody of all of their biological kids. Not like his dad's and his new wife's biological kids, but like Eleanor and her younger siblings. Anyway, yeah. So basically, Eleanor's mom is afraid to stand for herself and leave the house. Take the kids with her. For the safety of herself and kids. I said that like twice now. So anyway, yeah. Basically, at the beginning of the book, all the kids had to share one room, and they never had each of them never had their own room. All like 5 of them have to share like one room together, like literally together, and it's kind of depressing. It's not a good situation. Eleanor does not like her situation at all. She wants to get out of there, but she can't. Anything like that, because she's too afraid to. She's too afraid to talk to anyone about it. So yeah, and so it's not a good situation, and you get a lot of scenes where you do find out it's not really good at all and stuff, and the stepdad is not very nice and stuff, and the mom is kind of like on the stepdad's side because obviously she's afraid of him. The kids are kind of like on Eleanor's side, but not really because they're kind of on his side because they don't want because they're afraid of him, obviously. And Eleanor has called the police before, but he lied and they didn't do anything, of course. But like I said, she meets Park, who is Korean American, and his mom is basically Korean, but his dad is like American. But his dad is really into like Taekwondo. I think is how you pronounce it. I probably mispronounced it. Correct me if I'm wrong. So anyway, yeah, and so he has a younger brother, obviously, who kind of is one of the people that kind of makes fun of her. He's kind, his younger brother's kind of not, I could say kind of a douchebag, but yeah, would be I guess word. And of course, his older brother's taller than him because Park is a little bit shorter than his brother, and of course, throughout the book, you do get to see Park and his dad kind of get into a bit of kind of blacked out again. Sorry, kind of a few arguments about family life and stuff, and like his dad basically has a lot of expectations. His mom kind of does. He basically has a good family, obviously, because his parents obviously care for him. His family's the opposite of Eleanor's, obviously, and I forget what his dad does. I don't think he ever mentioned what his dad does, but I know he mentioned that his mom does hair and runs a beauty salon out of the garage and stuff. And so anyway, yeah, eventually Park and Eleanor meet, and they don't talk to each other. They have a few classes together, but they don't really talk. But eventually they slowly do start talk, and they do slowly exchange comic books and music and stuff, and kind of sort of fall in love. And she kind of opens up to him, and he to her, and eventually Park figures out that she does not live in a very safe environment, and of course tries to help her, and she doesn't really want his help, but eventually what happens at the very end is that she goes to live with another relative who is able to take care of her. And the thing is, before she goes to live with that relative, and eventually, her mom and her other siblings ended up leaving I'm the guy who was not very good to them at all. Eleanor promised Park to go to prom with him, but the end she never did. She never went to prom with him or anything. And so yeah, I I also remember this one scene of where the mom did a little like makeover for Eleanor because she thought it'd be a little cool idea to do her a makeover and stuff. And I remember like Park's mom being like asking her what shampoo she uses, and she's like, I don't know what shampoo I use to her because Eleanor had to use like I believe it was like animal shampoo, it was like dog shampoo or whatever to clean her hair or whatever because the dad, he's not a very nice one. He, spends a lot of time drinking, and stuff, and so they don't really have a lot. Like I said, it's not a very good situation at all, because she doesn't have a lot of stuff, and so they don't really get a lot of usual stuff that most people would normally get, like normal human. Oh, sorry, kind of flashed out. Normal human shampoo, that you'd use in the shower, while you're washing your hair, and so it was kind of sad because like you really feel bad for Eleanor because of the situation and stuff. And for those of you who do come from a abusive home and stuff, one thing I can definitely recommend for you guys is definitely find help. Talk to someone who you can trust. About your situation. Go to someone who you can turn to and talk to about your situation and stuff. And that's definitely one of the things that I got from that book is that Eleanor definitely needed to open up to Park about his situation, about what was going on at home. And part of it was fear, obviously, because a lot of time, in an abusive home, usually you might be afraid to speak out, because of what you might actually be afraid of the abusive parent, or abusive parents or whatever might do to you, whatever, abusive brother or something, whatever, might do to you, of course. So, like I said, turn to someone who you can talk to and, find help, speak up. Because it's never going to get better unless, you speak up. And that's definitely one thing I think Eleanor learned, is that if she hadn't spoken up, and told Park about it, she probably would have never gotten help at all. She probably would have never gotten better in that, in that terrible environment and stuff. And I just love how Park really cared for her, throughout the book, and how he changed to, becoming a friend and standing up for her when people were making fun of her for the way she was dressing and stuff and all that. And I really liked how Eleanor, in her PE class, she made a couple friends and she sat with during lunch and everything, so I thought that was nice. Because I believe what Eleanor said, she did have a few friends, I think. In her last school, I think it was, but she still was made fun of and everything, so yeah, there was that. So yeah, that's basically what the story is about, and that's basically the spoiler section for Eleanor and Park. I can tell you, I can't really tell you if they really glorified being in a abusive home or not, because I have never been in. Oh, sorry, again, the whole thing, the whole blackout thing. Like I was saying, I'd never been in a abusive, environment or anything like that at all, so I can't really relate a lot to Eleanor as much, but I can relate to being picked on a bit in that aspect, like Eleanor was. Not based upon like my hair or the way I was dressed, but just because, I don't know, for whatever reason, people just did not like me. For whatever reason, so I was kind of bullied a little as a kid, and in middle school and a little bit in high school too, and stuff. So I can definitely relate to Eleanor in that respect. But I can also relate to Parker and wanting to help and wanting to stand up for, you know, her and wanting, you know, and stuff. You know, and I can also but I can also kind of relate to Park with all the expectations, you know, your family wants you to do and what you want to do and stuff, you know, like any person, obviously. So yeah, that's my little book review on Eleanor and Park. I really enjoyed it. I would definitely give this a 5.5 out of 5.5 stars. That's what I was trying to say. Yeah, it was definitely a eventful and emotional ride kind of book. I would definitely say. This is the first Rainbow Wow book I have ever read, ever in my life, because I have not read her other works, at all, so, yeah, I have not read, like, Fangirl, Carry On, or anything. I have not read, any of those other works by her, at this point, but I did enjoy reading this book. I thought it was a good book to introduce me to, into her works and everything, and I definitely would want to read other books by her and stuff, and I would definitely recommend this to anyone who might enjoy this kind of genre about what it's like to be, you know, young and and in love as well, and it's just overall a good review of it. Not a good review, but a good book of it, you know, and stuff. Good plot, great character development, you know, in my opinion, and stuff. Yeah, and I just thoroughly enjoyed it, you know, because I really enjoyed it. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention about this book is that with this book, it kind of switches perspectives between Eleanor's perspective and Pike's perspective, and some of the chapters can be kind of short within the book, so be warned of that if you are going to read this book, that it does switch perspectives quite a lot throughout this book and stuff, so you definitely want to be careful, that's for sure. If you're thinking it's all in one perspective, it's not. It's in two different perspectives. So yeah, and occasionally you will get like two chapters of maybe Eleanor's perspective, or maybe two chapters of Park's perspective. So you kind of have to be weary and tolerant of it, I guess, and take it with a grain of salt if you're not into the whole switching of perspectives thing, you know, and stuff. But overall, it's still a good book, you know, and stuff. And like I said, I highly recommend this to anyone who might be interested in it. So yeah, I will see you guys on the next book review, I guess, hopefully soon. And I hope to, like I said in the last video, to keep reviewing books and uploading my videos. So see you guys next time. Bye guys!